Good morning, Millennial Morticians. Happy Wednesday morning. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of this incredible podcast. The title of today's episode is called The New Standard. The New Standard. I got this title for this week's episode just from the way the world is changing and evolving. I recently went to go grab a bite to eat from one of my favorite restaurants, and they kind of changed the way they took orders. I was really a big fan of like going up to the stand directly to the register and asking for my order and going about ordering that way. And one day I walked in and I'm a regular in this particular location of this restaurant chain, and they said, well, Mr. Folks, you could order like this. It'll be easier for you if you just order this way, and you might get a reward. That's what she told me. And I kind of took that back, but I was thinking in my head, and back in my head, I was thinking, but I'm so comfortable ordering right from here with you. It's just even better. I just walk in, you know exactly what I want, and it works. She was like, next time I see you, try this. So as nervous as I was to try out whatever system it was, I tried it. I put in my order. I walked in. Food was there seamlessly, and I got a reward for trying something different. Now, how different would things be if I didn't take that cashier's advice and I stayed doing the old system? How many quote unquote rewards would I have missed out on? And the point I'm trying to make to you guys out there now in this industry is that there's a lot of rewards waiting for you. But if you don't change the way in which you're willing to do things and get to those rewards, you're going to miss out on opportunities for you to expand and grow. And that's not to say that change is scary, because it is, but changing the direction in which you get to the same result can oftentimes lead to better results in the long run. Because out of all the times I ordered regularly, not only did I miss out on points or rewards, I was missing out on special opportunities, special engagement events they were having for people that did things differently. But if I would have stayed in my old mindset, I would have missed out on those points, on those rewards. And nothing changed about the quality of what I was getting. It was just the way in which I was getting to it. And so as a funeral service machine, we have to change the way in which we get to the funeral. And the customers, the consumers are changing. I don't know if you noticed, but they want to know more about cremation. They're excited about that. They're excited about urns now. They're excited about different things. They're excited about eco burial and what's this new age embalming stuff like. What does this mean to have eco embalming? And how does that play a role in how we sell funerals and show products and things like that? And at the end of the day, the beautiful thing about this whole process is they still want a funeral. That's the beautiful part. It's just they want a different route in which to take. And that's a part of building the new standard. And a lot of people, they're getting upset and they're getting disappointed, not because they're missing out on the funeral. It's because they're so stuck on walking up to the register. And the register way is an old way. And I understand that's how you get your product. I understand that's what's worked for you. But look at your competition down the street. They're not going up to the register anymore. In fact, they're letting the consumer come to them and tell them what they want to do. And they're having a whole bunch of digital things. They can do digital pre-need and everything's online. Why would I? And a lot of people, they're uncomfortable being in the funeral home. So how do you get around that? Well, this is the easiest time, the easiest way to get around anything. You go to them through technology, through your website, through social media. You go directly to the consumer like that. And what's really going to be the trick here in setting this new standard is being the first. So that's a big push that you're going to be hearing a lot of. You're going to be hearing a lot of phrases about that. People want to be the first to do stuff. And there's power behind that because you are setting the agenda for how you want things to run and operate and what the future looks like. And there's a lot of people in this industry, this generation that came before us, and then they're starting to die out. And it's now becoming more and more our time. We're fulfilling the role more and more to take over these businesses. And we have to be prepared for whatever could come our way. And there's nothing wrong with taking things from the old that were really good and building on top of them. But guys, I'm just here to share in my excitement and my enthusiasm, as you can see, that there's a new standard coming. And it's going to change the way we know funeral services forever. And I don't want you guys to be scared for what's to come. I just want you to be ready for what's to come. Because so many things are going to happen so rapidly. Like you saw in New Orleans this year, so many different innovations, AI. I mean, oh my gosh, it's really scary. You have to be able to differentiate what you want to do and what you want families to see from what you don't want them to see. Although there were some great products there at NFDA New Orleans, there were some products there that I don't think we're ready for or that we ever will be enticed to use to serve families. And that's just a part of the choices we make as leaders in this industry, as business owners, because we're operating a business here. And we have to get a feel for our consumers, our clientele, our market to see, well, will the new standard fit them? Maybe, maybe not. And maybe you might say, well, Jaden, my clientele, I have an older clientele, the new standard, the new technology, the new innovation, the new cremation processes, and the way we're revolutionizing that, even in itself, as new as that is, we're not looking for it. But I challenge you, even with that older clientele that you may have, to offer the new standard. Just see if they're even interested, because people my age, we're bringing phones to funerals more than we ever have in our entire lives. And we're recording those services, bits and pieces. And so we should be taking those bits and pieces of the funeral and we should be advertising. We should be doing it for them. We should be allowing them to post that on our website just to show people that, hey, look, these people are engaged in the funeral. They're engaged in the services that we're offering. They're engaged in what's going on. They're there. They're living in the moment. And not only are they living in the moment, but they're allowing themselves to grieve the process and to feel what they need to feel. And it's our job to cultivate an atmosphere where people can grieve and get over and heal and maneuver their way through the challenges of death. And what I'm finding is the job is the same job, but it's changing in the way that we handle people, because people are becoming more stagnant. They're more demanding nowadays. They want things that are unrealistic at times. And we have to manage ourselves around those different dynamics, those different energies. We're living in a world today where everybody wants to be the boss, but nobody wants to be the boss. Everybody wants to be the customer, but not everybody wants to be the customer. And so, how do you get clientele based off of all those different changes, all those different things happening around the world? And the simple answer to that is change your standards of business. Update your booklets, update your pamphlets, update your website, update your funeral home. I mean, you've never had a TV in your funeral home in the lobby for people to watch. People are bringing their children with them to visitations these days. That's the new normal. I had somebody ask me the other day, "Can I? Am I dressed okay?" It was a visitation. Am I dressed okay? They had on their normal, their everyday clothes. I said, "Yes, ma'am. You're dressed just fine." She thought she was out of place because the old standard would have told her that, "Whoa, this is a visitation, ma'am. You're out of place. You're not dressed the right way." But the new standard is saying, "You can come business casual. It's okay. We understand you just got off work. Come on in." And the reaction on her face was, "Wow, I'm welcomed here." But her brain wasn't accepting the fact that she was accepted there. And so I watched her walk in and she got more and more comfortable because she recognized, wait a minute, there's other people in here like me, dressed like me. And I made her feel comfortable. I said, "Look, you're fine. You're okay. Go in there, greet the family, talk to them. They're going through a tough time, help them heal." And she walked in there and she walked out. She said, "Thank you so much." Because the new standard is about encouraging families, uplifting families, and empowering families with all the right things, all the right tools they need to be successful during their grief. And so it's our job as funeral directors, owners, morticians, apprentices, um, any part of the funeral home that we're working in, it's our responsibility. Attendance, let's set a new standard for funeral services. Let's raise the bar. It's possible. It's happening. It's going to happen regardless if I'm ready or not. And even if you're not ready, it's going to happen. So let's continue to set the bar, set the new standard for funeral services, guys. Go in your funeral home this week, talk to your staff, talk to your people and say, let's set the bar higher. Let's expand this thing out. Let's make this vision, let's make our community come to life. And you'll be so surprised by the reactions you'll get. Well, guys, that's all the time for today. I'm your host, Jaden Folks. This is the Millennial Mortician podcast, the podcast that engraves. You guys have a blessed week. Remember, set the new standard this week. Be proud of yourself. Come on, it's okay. Shake it off. Shake those cobwebs off. It'll be so worth it if you order from a different direction. All right, guys, have a blessed one. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.